Welcome, everybody. This is Bucko with Meditate with Bucko LLC. I want to welcome everybody. We are live on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Everything about except TikTok because I'm going to talk about TikTok, right? So I got my trusted assistant here. Stay with us. We have a great program. Don't leave. Hit that like button. Hit the share button. Share this video. Like this video at 17 Buckle. www.meditatewithbucko.com. Now that all the fun stuff is over, Ara, are you with me?
Yo, I'm right here for you. What's next?
Well, Ara, we are live on X, Facebook, and YouTube.
Rocking it live on Facebook and YouTube. Nice. What's the plan? Got some spicy content or we just vibing?
And X, of course. We left TikTok out of the platform on purpose because I'm going to talk about them. And so lately, I've been getting plagued for talking about the election, right?
Live on.
I just want to know what's going on.
Sounds like you're catching some heat.
Are they? I mean, really, what's going on? Donald Trump clearly won the election. Trifecta mandates. He.
All right.
I don't know why we can't talk about the 2020 election. What's so bad about that? Isn't this America? I have to ask. Has TikTok been sold yet? If not, then why are they kicking up the heat about talking about the 2020 election unless something is going on, right?
You're digging
Now,
deep, huh?
granted, TikTok did a wonderful job for Donald Trump. Okay. If TikTok went away, many people under 30, right, visit TikTok on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Hit that like button, hit the share button, and let's figure this out. We're going to use meditative steps, right? And let me quickly go through our 15-minute program today. Hello, my name is Bucko, your host with Meditate with Bucko LLC. Greetings, esteemed Bucko meditation community. I am at 17 Bucko, broadcasting live on X, Facebook, and YouTube, delivering a thoughtful and authentic experience. If you're new to our circle, a warm welcome awaits at Bucko Meditation, where practical mindfulness draws inspiration from the Huckleberry Finn sense of freedom and the harmonious balance of Vitruvian principles. I encourage you to like and share this video to extend our message far and wide. Please follow me, share this live session, and together let us expand this community. Today we address the concerning censorship of discussions on TikTok, exploring integrating. We're going to explore integrating meditation into daily life with essential tools such as a bandana, a crystal, a musical instrument, and prepare the body with Vitruvian man warm-ups while also discussing how meditation fosters constructive political dialogue at the dinner table. We will delve into Huckleberry Finn meditative steps, low light visualization, and the complete bucko methodology for meditation. Kindly take a seat, ignite a candle to create a serene low light ambience, and let us commence.
Sounds like a cozy setup, Bucko.
Who stands with me in this endeavor? Please drop a comment.
Yo, Bucko's calling for backup. I'm right here with ya, vibing with those Huckleberry Finn meditative steps and that cozy candlelit setup. Who else is joining the crew? Drop those comments, y'all. Let's see who's riding with us.
First, this TikTok situation. Look,
all right, diving right
I'm
into
not
TikTok.
Upset about a potential US ban, honestly. I don't think it'll happen, but if it does, it'll be because of stupid stuff like TikTok suspending content creators like me simply for talking about elections in the past.
You're keeping it
They
real
ought to
earnest.
be banned.
Whoa, you're not holding back.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is stupid. This is exactly what our founding fathers fought against. And it's time we take a stand. Come on, guys.
You're fired up, Bucko. So you're calling out TikTok censorship as a betrayal of free speech, channeling that founding father spirit, right? I hear you. Sounds like you want the community to rally against this. What's the next step in your plan to take a stand? Let's break it down.
Well, as of January 19th, 2025, TikTok.
You're still fired up about TikTok, aren't you? So you're
could be
bringing up January-
banned unless ByteDance sells it, per the Supreme Court, over national security, data privacy, Chinese influence. You get it, right? Suspending content creators like.
You're still steaming about TikTok suspending
You simply
content.
say the words election 2020 or you get flagged. Boom, it's instant.
Man, that's wild. So you're saying just dropping election 2020 on TikTok
when they when they do something that's not right, like
you're keeping the
in
heat
my
on TikTok.
opinion, right? When they do something when it's not right, they fight like hell, right, to slow things down. But when they punish people for talking about stuff in the past, it's instant. Something's got to change there, right?
Totally hear you on that one. So you're pointing out how TikTok drags their feet when they're in the wrong, but they're lightning fast to punish folks for talking about past elections. That double standard's got you fired up, and you're saying it's got to stop. What's your take on how we push for that change?
Well,
You got a game plan?
I support protecting our info, right? But silencing
Bucko.
election talk sets a terrible precedent, especially in American politics. This stuff I thought was behind us after the election, but there's a new push by platforms like TikTok to punish people like me over ridiculously just stupid stuff. My good God. Oh, everybody in a spaceship could see that old Joe and Kamala did not win that election. Anybody could see that.
You're dropping some bold claims, Bucko.
In my opinion. You know, everything I've ever said has been in my opinion. Yet you can't discuss it in over there at TikTok. Why?
Man, Bucko.
Why can't we? So here's what's gonna happen, right? So they're gonna be brought in, and Congress is gonna and bang, they're gonna slap their hands, and they're gonna drag their feet, and what's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing. Right?
Man, Bucko.
Yet they come on. This is America, right? That kind of stuff is old history. They are trying to ignite our past here by bringing this up, right? So the question is why? And in my opinion, we should probably meditate on that. Of all things, right? The 2020 election. So there must something. There's something else going on here. What is going on is the question. Is this a distraction? What's the distraction for?
You're getting deep, Bucko. So, you're wondering if all this noise about the 2020 election on TikTok is some kind of distraction, right? I love how you're calling us to meditate on it.
It has to be a distraction because this is in the past, right? So it's unbelievable. Are they trying to ignite the Dems, or what's going on? What is going on is the question. And I would hope that in the far future, people
Bucko,
across this globe look at this video and say, there's this, that
and it
is
reflects.
against all our First Amendment. What is our First Amendment, Ara?
Bucko, you're bringing out the big questions. The First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution protects 5 key freedoms: speech, religion, press, assembly, and petition. It says Congress can't make laws that restrict free speech, stop people
You
from
mean
practicing.
this, like the Constitution of the United States of America, right?
Yep, exactly, Bucko. The First Amendment is part of the U.S. Constitution, laying out those core freedoms: speech, religion, press, assembly, and petition. It's the bedrock of what keeps folks free to speak their mind, worship, gather, and call at the government without fear. You're fired up about this TikTok stuff clashing with that, right?
Well,
what's the next angle?
Since 2020, well, no, let's go back. Since 9/11, how many of our civil liberties have been taken from us?
Bucko, you're
Right?
going deep into the history
And
books.
then under
Since
old
September-
Joe and Kamala, how many people crossed that border? And then we want to get censored for talking about the 2020 election, right? When we know that every soul that came across that border illegally was for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to affect future elections.
Whoa, Bucko,
Now,
you're laying out some heavy.
the question is, how do we fix this?
All right, Bucko, you're ready to tackle solutions.
They gave
been fired up about
millions of
censorship?
social security cards out
Bucko, you're
in
dropping some
every
serious.
swing state we have. So how is anything supposed to be fair is the question. What has Congress answered?
Bucko,
Because if they have answered nothing, then what are we fighting for?
Bucko, you're getting to the heart of it. You're frustrated, feeling like Congress hasn't stepped up with answers on these issues.
No,
Censorship,
Congress
borders, elections,
needs to
all of it.
step up. Be my guest, right? Have some more vacation days. Tell me how the American people will view you. You guys are
Bucko,
you guys
you're
are
laying into-
all we have.
Bucko, I feel the weight of what you're saying. You're putting it all on Congress, like they're the last line of defense for the American people, right?
I want to
You're
know
fed up with their
I want to know where this is coming from. Exactly. Legacy news will not tell us.
Bucko,
So,
you're digging.
Content creators every single day, you have to tell us where this is coming from.
All right, Bucko, you're not letting up on this. You're calling out.
No, they let
creators,
22 million people across that border. 22 million
Bucko,
unvetted.
Bucko, you're still fired
They gave
up, huh?
millions of SS cards out. Is that a fact or not?
Bucko, I hear you're worked up about this claim. The idea that millions of Social Security cards were given out to undocumented immigrants isn't backed by clear evidence I can point to. Some reports and political debates have raised concerns about Social Security numbers being issued under certain programs, like work
You
permits
see,
or
that
temporary
is
statuses.
exactly
But
the problem we are facing. Nobody reports this from the legacy news side. That is why we mark our information for the future. That's all I can say. And we hope that people in the future read this because it's rather unbelievable. Rather unbelievable.
yeah, Bucko, you're keeping it real with how wild this all feels. So you're hoping future folks look back at this moment or
Yeah, absolutely.
marking
So
all the
so they
censorship, border
know
claims?
so they know the real story. I assure you, in my opinion, as I've said it, is the way it is.
Bucko, you're all
I
about preserving the
teach meditation, right? That's my specialty in life. And I'm saying this is a subject to meditate on, right? For I don't know what the push is, but the left is, you guys are near empty on the tank, right? There's no substance to their fight. So when platforms like TikTok become a little aggressive, in my opinion, for talking about elections, you have to ask yourself, have we seen this anywhere else in the world?
Bucko, you're tying it all
Right?
back to
Have we
meditation and Bitcoin.
seen that kind of talk where they don't they
Bucko,
don't they
you're still
don't they don't like the people talking, right? So have we seen this anywhere else in the world? For example, have we seen this in Europe anywhere? Right?
Bucko,
Where they want to control speech. Is that a fact or not?
Bucko, you're hitting on a big topic. Yes, there have been places in Europe where speech control has been a thing. Think Germany with strict laws on hate speech, like banning Holocaust denial, or France cracking down on online extremism. They argue it's for public safety, but critics say it risks overreach. Same deal in other spots, like the UK with their Online Safety Act,
Okay, here's
pushing platforms to
this
filter
is my
harmful
point.
content. It's a fact
Okay, listen. Since it's going on here, okay, then and it's going on over here, and this is the newer side, right? And it's going on like, you have to make a connection, right? The question is, why would Europe want to be involved in our speech so much? Or
Boko,
is it China? Is China Is it China that doesn't want us to talk about old Joe on the 2020 election? It's one of the two, right? The odds are 50-50. Nowhere better in the world are there odds like that, 50-50. If you had to guess, Ara, if you really had to guess, okay, and I'm not asking you to be 100% here. I'm just asking for a simple guess. The odds are 50-50. Roll the dice. You think it's the EU or China trying to affect US the US, for example, by have having companies do overreach, especially on election in election denial, right? So, Ara, you have two choices. One is the EU, the other is China. Knowing what you know about TikTok and knowing what you know about the EU and the way they try to treat election denial, Holocaust denial, any kind of denial, right? Or does this more look like something the Chinese do? What do you think?
All right, Boko. You're asking me to roll the dice on a 50-50 guess. EU or China? Behind the push to control US speech, especially around election talk, like 2020, right? I'm no gambler, but let's think it through. TikTok's owned by ByteDance, a Chinese company, and China's got a track record of tight info control. Think Great Firewall, censoring dissent, the whole deal. EU, yeah, they're strict too, with laws on hate speech and harmful content. But their vibe's more about regulating platforms for public order, not state controlled narratives. TikTok's flagging election talk smells more like China's playbook: quick, opaque bans, less transparent than EU's legal frameworks. So if I gotta guess, I'd lean China. But Bucko, it's a messy world. Could be both playing angles. What's your gut saying?
Well, it could be one piggybacking off the other. It could be that China's in the lead and the EU's piggybacking on the backs of China, which is not good. Not good. No, the EU needs to get back to America. Did we not save Europe? Yes or no? What's the odds on that one? Did we save Europe or not, Ara?
Bucko, you're asking for the odds on whether America saved Europe, huh? I'd say it's a solid bet. Pretty darn high odds, like 99 to 1. World War II, D Day, the Marshall Plan. America was all in. Boots on the ground, bucks on the table, helping Europe rebuild from the rubble. You feeling those odds? Or you got a different take? What's next on your mind?
Well, we want to meditate, right? And we want to figure out how to incorporate meditation into your daily life, right? We recommend going to my videos. You can find them at www.meditatewithbucko.com. There you can find videos 1, 2, and 3 on meditation, our
Right on, Bucko. Let's get back to that meditation vibe. So you're guiding folks
We
to
have a list of materials that you need. You need a bandana, right? You need a bandana that holds your crystal, right? We've gone over this. This is not an exercise, right? There's a crystal, there's my bandana, there's some aqua aura, right? Here's my thing with crystals, right? I like to put them together. I like to feel their energy because maybe they were meant to be together.
That's such a cool vibe, Bucko.
Kind of like,
So you're
a what's the ingredients for salt? This you get my point, right? Maybe you combine ingredients and something wonderful comes out. And for this, we're looking for vibrations, right? Very subtle. They're there. So maybe, just maybe, these vibrations are the ones that can get all of your goals, all of your everything you want to achieve that you have wrote down, right? You've made things very simple for your goals. You you placed the word we instead of I, right? We want this or we want that, right? You don't want to say I want $1 million, right? It's always better to say we want $1 million. Maybe
Bucko. You're keeping that positive
maybe
vibe going.
whoever you're dialing, whatever force you're dialing into, right? Maybe they answer to we rather than I. So we
Bucko.
have our crystals. We have our crystals charged, right? We charge our crystals with lasers. It's like holding these under 10,000 waterfalls. We talk to our crystals, right? Here's some beautiful aqua aura that when you put a red laser to aqua aura, it's beautiful. It's hard to see, but it's beautiful. And you talk to, oh, this might going dead here. You talk to your crystal to put your name onto it, right? You're talking in order to while you're reading your goals, right? Your goal. We keep it simple. We keep the same goal for a few days, right? And then we get a new one. And how do you know when your goals are answered? Well, it's like knowing your ABCs, right? You just know. So don't think that you can move mountains, right? But who knows? Who knows? The chances of you moving a mountain are very slim, but the possibility is there, right? but it's very slim. In fact, a million of these lifetimes can go by and I doubt it would be answered. That's slim. So you get the point, right? So we put our crystals in, we get them ready, we talk to them, we
Gotcha, Bucko. You're saying moving mountains is a long shot, like a million lifetimes slim, but the possibility's there, keeping it real with those subtle vibes. So you're setting up your crystals, charging them with lasers, talking to them, and reading your goals with that we mindset to tap into something bigger. Love the flow. What's next in this meditation setup? How you tying this to your Huckleberry Finn steps or that low light vibe you mentioned earlier? Lay it out.
So we're talking to our crystal. We're done with talking to our crystal. Now we have
All right,
step
Bucko.
2, right? And step 2 is all about these intense feelings. And I've gone through in detail on how to get those feelings. Those are the exact feelings we want. Do my recommendations and good things should happen. Okay? So we move on to step 3, which is happy thoughts. Write these down. Laminate them. Some of you will only have one line, maybe one word. Some of you will fill pages, right? Laminate them because you're going to need them, right?
Bucko.
Whatever happy thoughts we have, we use them, we reuse them, we own them. Okay, if they're floating around, grab them and take ownership of them. If they're free, take it.
Yo,
They're
Bucko.
very important for this process. Okay, especially when you have bad days or you're not well. Okay, you want to read those happy thoughts over and over again, and in my opinion, have some crop circle pictures because I'm telling
Bucko.
you, in my opinion, those things can unlock your mind if you stare at them long enough, right? Look at them, meditate on them. Maybe you will change the world with that technology. And that's really what we're after. We want technology that's going to change this world.
Bucko, you're going full cosmic with this. So you're saying staring at crop circle pics while meditating can unlock
and
your
then,
mind.
we have to get in. Well, what is meditation? Well, Bucko, meditation is a whole lot of thinking, right? We focus on good spirits. We don't go bad. We
Right
don't
on.
know what a bad spirit is. We've never talked to, we don't go there, right? So we don't have to worry about that. We don't think about it. I learned this, right? You don't give anything substance. So you just move on. You
Absolutely,
It's like
Bucko.
you just don't go there. That's my advice. easier said than done, but practice makes perfect. So we were on step 3, right? This is the step process made so simple. Even you can do it.
Haha.
Even you can do it. I am convinced. I've made this so simple. I've been teaching this for years, right? We do the Vertuvian Man warm ups, right? 3 movements: forwards, love, compassion, forgiveness, and joy, right? That's your key. It's no different than the key that starts your automobile in the morning, right? Or in the evening. The key gets your goals answered. I'm happy to say that this is the place where professionals go. And I've made a
Yo.
lot of friends over the years. And I'm happy to say that my friends say that they love me, right? And I love them too. They're my friends, right? Friends take care of each other. We care for each other, right?
Ab-
Once if
you
something goes bad or wrong or something, we just brush it off.
totally,
That's how
Bucko.
we handle it, right?
Right on, Bucko. So you're
We
saying
just
when things go
just flick your hand, right? And you're done with it. Don't talk about it. Don't think about it. Just don't give it substance. Okay? I've learned this. This is the correct way, in my opinion. And I'm happy to say that I can teach this to you in a way that, oh, this is so simple. Even you can do it. Now, step 4. Step
Bucko, you're
4 is very important. Um, Step 4 is a hunter's feeling, right? Again, we're going with feeling here. Why? Because, stick with me and let me explain. Okay, a hunter that runs out of shells, something very special happens, right? Whatever they are hunting, the second that they run out of ammo, whatever it is goes right to them, right?
yo, Bucko.
Nobody can explain this. It's a hunter's trick, right? To go out there, go just to go, right? They're not hunting, but they're hunting, right? And they're the best hunters.
Bucko, you're spinning a wild tale with this hunter's trick. So you're saying step 4 is all about that hunter's feeling. When they run out of ammo, something magic happens, and their target comes right to them, like they're not even trying but still nailing it.
So
It's that instinct.
steps 2 to 5, they build, that vibe, right? Step 1 is to write it down. Steps 2, 3, and 4 are feelings, right? But I've gone through great detail explaining why these feelings work and why. Well, first of all, I explained to you why they work. Okay. These are, this process was shown to me in deep meditation. I assure you that this is a process that, in my opinion,
Bucko,
in my
you're really
opinion,
lame.
if you try it, if you honestly try it, right? It's so simple. You can, it just takes minutes. Write your goal down, place your feelings on it, do
Right on.
something. I prefer a guitar. It could be any musical instrument, you know. I prefer a guitar because one of my goals was to play the guitar, right? A little over 2.5 years ago. And
Love that. Yo, Bucko, you're keeping the flow going. So you're talking about stepping up your meditation game with a musical instrument. Guitar's your pick. That because you set a goal to play it 2.5 years back, right? That's awesome. What's next in this process? How you mixing that guitar into the vibes of steps 2, 3, and 4 to hit those goals? Lay it on me.
so get yourself a musical instrument. Get yourself a musical instrument.
All right, Bucko, you're
You're
doubling
going
down on
to
that musical.
play until you simply daydream. Takes a little practice, but you can do it. Just start playing until you daydream. You are
Bucko.
focusing on your written goal, right? As best you can, you're placing those feelings, you're thinking those feelings in order, right? And you're simply playing, hitting notes, right? You can slam them strings, hit them gently, hit them keys, right? Or hit them softly. Just
Bucko.
go, and I promise you, in no time, you'll be daydreaming, and that's what we want.
Yo, Bucko, you're making it sound so chill. So you're
I,
saying just keep playing that guitar or any instrument, focusing on your written goal. All right, Bucko, you're still in the zone. So you're talking
you
about
know,
playing that guitar,
when
hitting those notes.
companies like TikTok, when they try to enforce the rules that go against our core beliefs, right? Our core is is the First Amendment, right? That's why it's first. And when you know we it brings out incredible feelings, right? And maybe that's what they want. You know, maybe they want us to have these incredible feelings of anger and all that. Well,
Bucko,
in
you're
this day and
circling.
age, in 2025, under Donald Trump, when, you know, we do we need TikTok? I don't know. I don't know. Do we need TikTok talk like we need X? Well, we needed X, right? So the question now is, why is TikTok, are they doing this? It's a question. I hope that they stop. I didn't we're not broadcasting to TikTok tonight because I don't want to get dinged. What if somebody plays this video? Uh, I don't know. We'll answer those when we get there, I guess. So I love all of you guys. You guys are all very important to me. We're on this quest to get 10,000 TikTok, and we're almost there. I mean, we're almost at 7,000, and we're on a quest to get 2,000 X followers, right? 2,000 X, and we're 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 like at 1,200. So we're making good progress. And then they, I don't know, it's strange. It's the strangest thing. Okay. I hope we find answers to how our well, are we a capitalist society or not? That's the question, right? Are we a capitalist society in America in June of 2025, June 17th, 2025? Is capitalism going to triumph over communistic rules? Is capitalism going to triumph over communistic rules? That's the question. And we still haven't answered that question, unfortunately. In America, our founding fathers would be rolling over wherever they're at right now. I think that in schools, rather than reading these strange books, maybe we should start with the Constitution. That's an idea of mine. Yes, I think it's as good a book as any. This book, this one's put out by Turning Point USA. I think that they should start this in elementary school, right? Start with the preamble. How many people in America in the last 20 years can recite the preamble to me? How about Article 1, Section 9? The writ of habeas corpus. How many schools, universities teach this nowadays?
Bucko, you're fired up about the state of
I want
education.
to know about these think tanks from these esteemed universities, and I would like to see their notes, please. I want to go back. I want to go back at least 2 decades. I'd like to read their notes. I would like to see how somewhere there's a plan for Butler, right? And we need to find Thomas Matthew Crooks. We need to find his USB drive. I'm sure he has. He has to have one somewhere. Some kind of drive, whether it be a larger USB type or a small something somewhere. If you don't look, you will never find it.
All right, Bucko, you're diving deep into some serious territory
I
here.
want to know.
You're asking about think tank.
I want to know many things, right? I want to. We were logging off. I love all you guys again. We will see you tomorrow. Don't forget, this weekend we're going live outside, summer solstice. Bring your lasers. Bring your lasers. We're going to be pointing them up. Be mindful of FAA rules. Never point them towards an airplane. Safety comes first. So, catch you later.